Okay guys, because I need to do this. This is my first video for you guys. So what I'm doing is I'm doing page 205 and mixed review and self-test 3. I'm going to work on some of the problems and I'm going to do them here on this board so you can see them and you can watch them over and over again. So this is only for your eyes, okay? Alright, now let's start out by number 1, because some of you still don't have this. Number 1 is the quantity 2x plus 3 times the quantity x minus 1, and that's already set equal to 0. Now our directions tell us to solve. That means they need to know what x is. So since this is already factored, I can set each, I don't have to multiply this together. That's not what they asked me to do. They asked me to solve this. So that just means we can apply the product rule of the zero product rule. If two numbers multiplied together give me 0, then one or the other or both are equal to 0. So that means that 2x plus 3 equals 0, or x minus 1 equals 0. Again, these are called the roots of this. Solving the 2x plus 3, 2x is equal to negative 3, x equals negative 3 halves. Over here, x equals 1. Okay, so that's number 1. So your solution set to this, again, is putting those funny curly brackets that you have a difficult time making, minus 3 halves, 1. And that's your solution set for that problem. There's nothing you need to factor on this. This is a simple equation. Just a simple linear equation. All you have to do, it's actually a two-step equation. Add 7 to both sides, and you get 15 equals 3p, and p is equal to 5. Divide both sides by 3. So this was a simple one. You didn't have to do very much. When you solve an absolute value equation, the first thing you want to do is always isolate the absolute value, all by itself. Now some of you were, on your homework, were subtracting 1 from both sides. Then you had 4 minus the absolute value of b equals 0, and you figured, well, it must be plus or minus 4. That's true. However, that's not the correct way to do this problem. So, the correct way to do this problem is get this b all by itself, this absolute value of b. That means I have to subtract 5 from both sides. Subtract 5 from both sides gives me minus 5 over here, with the plus 1 gives me a minus 4. Remember, you still have that negative sign in front of the absolute value of b. So if I multiply both sides by negative 1, I just get the absolute value of b is equal to positive 4. Now, once you have this all by itself, all you have to do is say, well, the inside of this has either got, you got to go back to your definition of absolute value. Absolute value says, inside here is equal to 4 or negative 4. It can't be 0 because this is not 0. So b then has got to be equal to plus or minus 4. Okay? And this is the correct way to solve those absolute value equations. Now, when you have something like this, again, a quadratic, you have to get everything on one side of the equation. I don't really know what was happening, but some people were getting it all on one side of the equation, and then they didn't know what to do. They just did this. Well, once you get that m over there, you have 0 left over here. So now you have to factor this. Some people got stumped at this point, and they didn't know how to factor this. Well, when there's no constant term here, and you have an m common to both of these terms, you just take out the greatest common monomial. M times m minus 1 equals 0. And now you apply the zero product rule. Either this factor is equal to 0, or this factor is equal to 0, or both. This factor being equal to 0 is easy because that's just m equals 0. This factor, to get 0 here, m would equal 1. Okay? So now our solution set is 0, 1.